Hey, what's up, everybody out there? Welcome back to another episode of Debategate here at the High Stakes Sports Debates Network. I'm your host, Tom Jude, and we got a great episode for you guys today. But before we jump into the content, I just want to ask you guys to show some love to those thumbs at the bottom of your screen. If you want more content, if you want us to keep this going, please show some love to those thumbs, up or down. Anyways, today, as you guys can see from the topic below, are the Buffalo Bills going to make the playoffs? And I'm here with two very astute, very sharp sports minds. To my right, I am joined by the editor of Rebel Media Group, Mr. Lars Lewis. My friend Lars, how are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing just great. It's another lovely day, and it's great to be back on the sports debate. And also, we have a fellow alum from our radio station joining us today.
Mr. Nicholas Lippa, FWBNY's general manager. Once again, he joined the show during the summer. We talked a little bit of fantasy football, and now he's here on Debategate. My friend Nick, how are you today, brother?
I'm staying out of trouble. I can't really say that about the Bills exactly, but, maybe a couple of less personal fouls on their end will set a good example for me.
Right, less personal fouls on their end means less personal fouls on our end because we know what the Bills do to us. So, gentlemen, let's jump right into the topic here. So, are the Buffalo Bills going to make the playoffs, guys? I kick it to you, Nick, since you're jumping on the show for the first time in a while. Why don't you kick us off today, man? Tell me what you think. Are the Bills making it? Just going to miss it? What's your insight there?
The question you have to ask yourself when you look at the Bills is, can they beat out the Steelers/Raiders/Jets and get to be one of those two teams that are going to be crawling up there? And it's going to be very hard. This Raiders team has looked very good, well-disciplined. They just keep getting better and better. And they got Derek Carr, who has been super hot at the quarterback position, and Amari Cooper has been one of the best playmakers in all of the AFC.
Oh, he's out of his mind.
When you're looking at it right now, it really comes down to this Thursday night game against the Jets to get the inside track. It's another must-win game for the Bills as they face the Patriots on Monday night, right after this Thursday night game against the Jets, and it'll help get the inside track. A loss to the Jets here essentially puts them in a spot, almost impossible scenario for them getting into the playoffs. I think the Bills will make a play. I think they may even win this game against the Jets this Thursday night. The problem is, I just see too much inconsistency from this Bills team. They failed to get pressure consistently on the quarterback all year. They continuously have problems with penalties. And, again, while they're all healthy, yeah, that offense gets going. But that Steelers team is looking like they're going to be a playoff team. And I have trouble thinking the Bills are going to be able to string together consecutive wins here because of how inconsistent they've been all year.
Ben Roethlisberger's hurt again, by the way.
But should be back. He should only be missing one game, and the game that he's missing, thank God for the Steelers, is against the Cleveland Browns.
Right, and then they have the bye afterwards.
Which is good for Roethlisberger, and anybody who's looked at Roethlisberger, he'll play with the sideways foot. That's not a problem.
Seriously.
So that'll probably be 2 weeks for the Steelers. I'm looking at this upcoming schedule for the Bills, and I say, wow, look at all these road games that they're about to have.
Right.
It's about to be a lot. It's about to be 3 straight. So it's going to be a lot for the Bills. I'm not buying into them making the playoffs even after this big performance because I need to see more consistency from their defense. And I know, Lars, you can attest to this. They can't stop any running back from catching out of the backfield, and that's going to be a problem against some other teams in the near future.
Lars, jump in there.
Well, Nick, while I agree with some of your posts regarding the wild card, I have a counter for you why the Bills actually will make the playoffs.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's look at the New York Jets. The New York Jets are 5-3, and they're going into this Thursday against Buffalo. They're in the Meadowlands. It's a huge game. Rex Ryan coming back. Let me tell you why the Jets might be in more trouble than the Bills.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, this sounds interesting. I got to hear this one.
Yeah. You want to know how many yards Chris Ivory has gained in his last 23 carries?
Not many.
Oh yeah, no, it's been bad.
26 yards.
Oh, absolutely, and that's been
26 yards.
The Jets' offensive line depth has not been good, but the way I've been looking at both of these teams, it's a must-win for the Bills, and I think they could win because of how poor the offensive line play is. I just think that the Bills are going to run into problems against the Steelers and the Raiders as far as standings in the AFC East go. That's what I'm looking at.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going here. More on the Jets. The defense gave up back-to-back 30-point games. They made Blake Bortles look pretty darn good until they threw that lame duck in the last part of the game.
Well, first, real quick, who doesn't give up 30 points to Tom Brady?
But still, though, you have to bring up the fact that they've given up 30 points in back-to-back games. Not to mention, they let Jacksonville hang on until the last parts of last week.
Right, on a previous podcast, though, I remember you saying that anytime you give up 30 in Foxborough to New England, that you did a pretty good job.
But again, I'm bringing up the fact that they did it again the next week against another team.
Okay.
And I can't personally look too far into that because the fact is Blake Bortles and the Jaguars offense slowly putting up points. Alan Hearns is a playmaker. Allen Robinson is a playmaker. T.J. Yeldon is a playmaker. You got Julius Thomas back. The Jaguars have weapons, and while their offensive line is inconsistent and Bortles is still inconsistent, Bortles has shown abilities to make plays.
With his legs, too, not to mention.
His legs as well. So Bortles was the leading rusher for the majority of that part for the Jaguars.
Right.
Which is a testament to, one, Bortles' mobility, two, the Jets have a good run defense. So you look at where the Jets are and what they're doing, I think they're going to be okay. They've just had two matchups where they've let things happen. I think the Jets are still around a 9-7 record by the end of all things. The thing is, I think the Bills are kind of around 9 wins too.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to finish.
And I think you're looking at around tie-breaking scenarios right now. The Bills kind of got to get lucky. The Raiders have really impressed me. And I think this is a team the Raiders were probable to get on a winning streak.
Let me ask you a question. What are the Bills' next three games? They're on the road, right? It's New York, New England, and who's that third game?
The third game would be against the Chiefs.
Right, so you've got to basically go and play in one of the most hostile environments in Arrowhead. And before that, you got to play Tom Brady on Monday night in Foxborough. And then before that, you got to play the New York Jets, who, while you guys aren't sold, I think the Jets are going to win that game.
I think it's very simple. You have two extremely solid corners in Gilmore and Darby. I think for the most part, Decker's going to be blanketed all game. They're going to try to double Marshall as well, but obviously we know Marshall, how talented he is. He still has a bit of a problem with his ankle, though, and the fact we also have to bring up Fitzpatrick's still playing with a torn ligament in his thumb. Now I'm not saying that has any effect on him throwing the ball because it's obviously on his left hand, but the Jets, I think that they're on far shakier ground than I think you guys are saying.
I
think the Bills are now coming. The Bills are starting to rise a bit now that they have guys back, and the Jets are hobbling a bit. Close win against the Jaguars this week. They're on a short week against the Bills. Buffalo right now. Think about this. They know that this is their season this Thursday.
It is.
And if there's no better place than the Meadowlands for this and the presser yesterday that it's just another game. That's a load of BS, and everyone knows it. He's had this game circled on his schedule since the minute he got hired.
Right. No, absolutely, and I agree with you. I don't expect the Bills to run the table. I mean, even if you win this Jet game, you got to go to New England. You got to go to the Chiefs. I get the Chiefs aren't anything to run home about, but still a hostile environment. Then you got to come home and play the Texans, which you never know. Could be a trap game for this Buffalo team. You never know on any given Sunday. Heck, the Falcons just lost to Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, you want to know what it is really for me, Tom? It's the fact that for the Bills, in order to really make the playoffs, you can only really afford, if you plan on making the playoffs, you can only afford to lose 2 more games this year.
Right.
Yeah. And the fact is, this is a must-win game against the Jets because you have to expect you're going to lose the Patriots.
I disagree with that.
And
it is a must-win.
You can't look
no,
at
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't think the AFC is going to need 10 wins to get in the playoffs. I think
if you want to get without a tiebreaker, Lars, if you want to get in without a tiebreaker and leave it up to the chance of the gods, if you want to control your destiny and not get lucky, then you're going to have to win with 10 wins. That's no doubt. Some years it's been 11. Some years but last year it was 8.
Yeah, I was just going to say, wasn't it 8 last year?
It was, but this year it's definitely going to be teams at 9 wins in that 6th spot with the Raiders, Steelers.
You're giving a lot of credit to the Raiders. I like them, but 9, 10 wins for the Raiders?
Yeah, because the Raiders showed that they can manhandle the Chargers.
They're second.
They got games against the Chiefs they're going to be playing, and they look better than the Chiefs are going to be. I think that the Raiders are going to win those games. I got another matchup against Denver. I'm dying to see. I think this Raiders team is licking their chops to try to get a rematch against it. I think the Raiders are going to win some division games here heading forward because the defense keeps getting better and better for them. While they can't stop the passing yards, it seems they are doing better in other aspects.
See Sunday against Pittsburgh, they got Antonio Brown shredding them for 280 plus yards. You tell me they're better? Absolutely not. No, Nick, that is ridiculous to even think that. Their secondary is terrible.
Terrible. That game still doing that. Imagine them getting a little bit better. They're using Michael Crabtree to torch people.
Well, yeah, because they have Landry Jones
They're
in there
running
for most of the
Marcel
fourth.
Reese up the middle and still getting things done. Derek Carr's the real deal.
You saw what D'Angelo Williams did to those guys yesterday? D'Angelo Williams absolutely
gashed
shredded that defense.
Let me ask you a question, Lars. Is Pittsburgh a top 5 offense?
I would say so.
I think so.
Cool.
With Ben.
And you want to know what? The Raiders have the offense to hang with them. Here's the difference.
That's a top 5 offense when Le'Veon Bell's in there, not D'Angelo Williams.
No, it's a top 5 offense if you get 250-plus yards from Antonio Brown, because Antonio Brown, after D'Angelo Williams left, still was making plays against Bengals defense. Right. Martavis Bryant still able to make plays here and there as well. You got too much talent on that.
Did you see how many people Bryant missed on a routine screen? I mean, that's not going to blow off any stat sheets, but that was a ridiculous play that Martavis Bryant made for that touchdown.
Look, all I want to say is when you're looking at this from a perspective from the Bills, there's some really talented AFC teams out there. And who knows? There's that secret team that might run the table. Who knows? The Ravens come back and they run the table with wins here.
That's gone. That's done.
There's this unknown factor that you don't know of somebody that comes up every year. One team from one conference, you see this one team go on a winning streak, you go, what the hell's going on here? You don't. There's those unknown factors too.
It sure as hell ain't coming from the AFC South. I'll tell you that.
It's not coming from there. You're absolutely right. When you're looking at the Bills, this is what it comes down to me when you look at this Thursday. You got to win this Thursday. But the Bills have something the Jets don't, and that's the X factor. And the X factor to me, and I think it'll be a game similar to how the Tennessee Titans game was for the Bills. The X factor to me is Tyrod Taylor. And Taylor's going to be able to make up for those 3rd and 7s. Oh, Watkins is covered. Right. Robert Woods didn't get open. They got McCoy covered out of the back. And he's gone. He's gone
hurt. Is he even going to play next week on a short week?
So Watkins probably will play.
No, I'm talking about LaShawn McCoy.
It's
unknown.
Well, we don't know exactly yet. We'll see where it goes. If not, Carlos Williams is healthy though, and you know that Carlos.
Yeah, but guys. Shady McCoy said after yesterday that he could have went back into the game, but they kept him out.
Okay.
He's going to be fine for Thursday. He's going to play.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's going to wrap up this Debategate episode. Final picks, guys. Lars, are the Bills making the playoffs?
Yes.
Nick Lippa, are the Bills making the playoffs?
No, 9 wins and they're not in.
I say no as well. So thank you guys out there for watching this intense episode of Debategate here at the High Stakes Sports Debates Network. And again, for Nick Lippa, for Lars Lewis, I'm Tom Jude. Throw us some love to that like button down at the bottom of the screen if you guys want to see more great content like this. If you haven't followed Nick Lippa on Twitter, let him know what your handle is. I don't know it off the top of my head.
At Nicholas Lippa.
And Mr. Lewis?
At Lars Lewis 12.
So if you're smart out there, people, you'll go ahead and follow these two. I'm at Sports Debate Tom. You can go ahead and find the podcast, all the other links that you need to get ready for your Week 10 fantasy matchups down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining the show today, and we'll see you here next time. High Stakes Sports Debates.